It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live stream Q&A video. This is going to be Q&A number 148 for Season 9, Episode 16 of The Walking Dead, the season finale. Extremely excited for it. It's going to be coming tonight. It's called The Storm, and yeah, that's my intro. Let's jump into the questions here. Voltex33, hi Ash. Hi, how are you? Glad you could join. Ronnie Thomas, hi Ash. Hi, how are you, Ronnie? Glad you could join. NovaJake75, hey Ash. Hey, how are you, Nova? Voltex33, if they're gonna kill Ezekiel in the finale, then what was the point of him not getting piked? I have no clue. But they've done this before. An example, Abraham's death, it had the same kind of idea. So they've done that before. Why would they do it? For shock, I think. That's the only reason they would do something like that, to, you know, make it not predictable in a way and more shocking. Negan's Meal Sandwich puts a smiley. King Ken 214, hey Ash, or hey King Ken, how are you? I don't know why I said hey Ash. NoahJake75, also Ash, you may have to block this user named Charles81, who's repeat offender, with putting spoilers in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it. If they put one more, then yeah, well, we're definitely gonna go there. Voltex33, I am very concerned about Siddiq's story or theory going around. It came out of nowhere, like Henry's situation. I hope it's not a spoiler. Yeah, I hope as well. But the thing is, it's just so out there that I don't think it could be true at all, you know? Because it's so out there. Like the theory of Siddiq being a spy. Just gonna bring this down a little bit. There we go. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Carol and Ezekiel might break up? No, why would you think that? Especially now with losing Henry, I don't think they'll go there. King Cancer 14, dude, episode 15 is the first time I've cried on a TV show. It was definitely one of those devastating episodes. Giuseppe Dorza, yo Ash, how are you? Giuseppe, glad you could join. Epic Zombie Killer, Kiona, hey Ash, how many videos for season 10 will you be doing during the break? We'll be doing discussion videos like always. Any news that's gonna be coming out, we'll talk about those. Any kind of images, you know, promotional stuff, we'll be covering all of those. And also we'll be actively following the Rick movie news and talking about those. And obviously when it comes out, I'll be watching it. I won't react to it, but actually I don't know. We might react to it. Depends on what you guys want and what you might be interested in. But I'll definitely review it and we'll break it down, you know, everything like that. And obviously when the trailer comes out, we'll be on that trailer real quick in terms of breaking it down and looking at the trailer together. Ronnie Thomas, how do you think Daryl thought when he saw Beta alive? He was surprised. He didn't look, or he looked like he really thought Beta was dead. And it was a real shock to him. He was kind of terrified in a way because he fought hard in that one-on-one fight with Beta and he couldn't beat him. He thought he did, but he didn't. And, you know, he just felt vulnerable because at that point, Michonne was there, Carol was there, people he cared about were there. And he felt hopeless and helpless because he didn't think he could do anything to save them. Obviously, he thought that they were going to just kill them all, you know? Let's go. Did I miss something? Negan's Meal Sandwich, Negan not far. Yeah, Negan's not far. He's going to be in the next episode, or in tonight's episode. Ronnie Thomas, I'm glad Rosita is alive. Yeah, that was one that it would have been, you know, cool to bring that to life from the comics, but I didn't feel like I really wanted to see that, you know? I thought it was an okay remix not having her replacing Tara for Rosita, but when it comes to Henry, I've shared my thoughts about that. I didn't think that worked, like replacing Henry for Ezekiel. NovaJink75, I don't see Carol and Ezekiel breaking up after being married for 6 years. Absolutely. Especially, like I said, now with what happened to Henry, I don't think that it makes sense at all. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rosita will take Andrea's role in the comic? In terms of getting the death, is that what you mean? I don't think Rosita is a good pick for that. It needs to be a bigger character. Rosita is not that type of character. Either if Ezekiel makes it, Ezekiel would be a good pick for that. Who else? Tara would have been a... No, not Tara, actually. I just see Ezekiel fitting that death at the moment. Ronnie Thomas, who wants to see a snowball fight? Imagine this happened. Well, we might see it. I mean, in the communities, they have nothing better to do, so we might see it. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A Hash. How long do you see Dog lasting? Will he survive season 10? I don't know. I think Dog is an interesting one because, you know, we all say if this person dies, we riot or whatever. But with Dog, I feel like that might actually happen. Like, I don't know. There's just something about killing animals on The Walking Dead. It hits people real hard. So I think the dog, if the writers are smart, Dog is safe for now, for season 10. King Kensu 14. The only reason why I started crying because I just felt so bad for Carol. I know it's not real, but it's just so sad. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely a repetitive story with Carol losing yet another kid, but the emotional level was definitely there. Like, we wouldn't have this emotional impact if it wasn't Henry and, you know, Carol didn't react to it that way. So I understand from that perspective why they chose Henry, but it's just that overall the picks could have been better, or not executed, but better picked, in my opinion. The victims. Noah Jink 75. Q&A, if this theory about Siddiq is true, when did he lie about the events that went down in the barn? Then did he lie about the events? Yeah, he did. If he is a spy, then he probably lied. Not lie 100%, but he kept some parts of the truths from everyone. But again, I don't think he's lying. I don't think he is a spy. I just don't see it. Voltex 33. I was already surprised that Alpha spared Siddiq. It's out of character for her, and Daryl and co would tell everyone about the Pikes anyway. I think it was different because what Alpha wanted, and it backfired, obviously, but what she wanted was for Siddiq to tell the story and to scare them because he was there with them when they died. So what Alpha wanted was, you know, she's crazy, she's evil. We don't want to cross her. We don't want to make her more mad. You know, we don't want to lose more people and things like that. What Siddiq said is a different story and a more story of hope and being a hero and surviving. And I think that backfired on Alpha because at this point, no matter how much they're scared of Alpha, they're not going to back down because their friends went out as heroes. They want to do the same until they get vengeance for the deaths of these 8 people or 10 people. So I think, yeah, I don't think Alpha was thinking about it all the way through, and I think it backfired on her. Voltex 33, I was already surprised. Oh, I just read that. Epic Zombie Killer, I meant season 10. Yeah, I got that one. Negan's Meat Sandwich, I think Dog will die in season 10's premiere. Oh, what happened? Did we just skip a few again? There we go. I think Dog will die in season 10 premiere. I don't know. I mean, they could kill Dog, but what kind of emotional connection does it have other than Daryl? Nothing, not really. So if they just want to shock fans and devastate them, yeah, sure, they can do that. Noah Jig 75. Maybe Alpha only wanted to kill an even number of people, which is probably why she spared Siddiq, as he would have been the 11th victim. I don't see a reason why she would want to make it even. Doesn't make sense. But I think the only reason she left Siddiq alive was what Siddiq said, to tell the story, to scare everyone. Mikey Mills, do you think Eugene will contact the Commonwealth or the radio at the end? I think there's a chance. There's a good chance that's going to happen. And there's a good chance that we might see an additional story. An additional, what do you call it? Mind-blowing reveal with the radio story. I talked about that on another video. I'm not going to go into detail here, but I think there's a chance they might, you know, either do Commonwealth or this big reveal. That's not really Commonwealth, but it's interesting. I don't want to dive into it, but also it's a chance that they could do a mixture of both. Voltex 33. I think if Enid, or wait, just think if Henry ignored the strange sound, he would still be alive. Exactly true. That's the last we saw and heard of Henry when he went to fix the pipes. So yeah, that's very true. Nomadic75. Why would you like to see Daryl and Connie team up again? I like how they work together as a team. Daryl doesn't talk much and Connie is deaf. The perfect assassin duo, lol. Yeah, I don't mind that duo and that combination. I don't mind it. I'm indifferent, really. Like, I don't care if they do it. I don't care if they don't. But I don't mind it. Like, I think it's a good combination. Negan's meat sandwich. I think Carol will take Andrea's death from the comic. I think Carol is safe. I think Carol and Daryl are the safest characters on the show right now. I don't think they're going to have Carol die anytime soon. So it would have been a great pick, Carol, if Michonne was there, Maggie was there, and Rick was there. If they were all there, Carol would have been a good pick for that. But at this point, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it to give that to Carol. Because the backlash after that is going to be out of this world. And it's going to defeat the purpose of putting that shock death in there to move the story forward. Epic Zombie Killer. Kieran Hayash, if you didn't notice, Henry doesn't have a neck, whereas the other Pike victims still have their necks. Henry doesn't. I didn't notice that, but that's interesting. Obviously, between the others and Henry, Alpha killing Henry was payback. It was payback. It was more personal than the other deaths, for sure. And the other thing, Henry had scratches on his face. The others didn't. So Henry fought hard. And yeah, maybe Alpha, you know, other than piking him, did a few more damage on the face. NovaJink75, Melissa McBride signed a 3-year contract, so I'm pretty sure AMC would not approve of this kind of death for Carol. Not just that, even if they do approve, I don't think the writers would want to do that. Carol is an important part of the story, or has been for quite a long time. So I don't think it's a smart decision to kill Carol off. Ronnie Thomas, how in hell Alpha managed alone to take all the Pike victims all by herself? I think they lured them into specific locations and snatched them up. They chose vulnerable people, remember that. All of the people that they picked were vulnerable people that they could lure into places like they did with Henry and snatch them up. The only exceptions were Sadiq, Tara, Alec, DJ, and Ozzy. Alec, Ozzy, and DJ, they just came to save the day. The Whisperers didn't snatch them up. Tara and Sadiq, I think what happened is when people went missing, they probably went looking for them. And they maybe with DJ, Alec, and Ozzy, and they split up. Tara and Sadiq were captured with the others and taken to the barn all together, and that's when Alec, DJ, and Ozzy came in and tried to rescue them. So I think initially, the initial people that the Whisperers and Alpha really snatched up were the two teens, Tammy, Henry, Enid, who else? And that's pretty much it, right? And Frankie. I think these were the people that the Whisperers initially snatched up. Dr. Soso, I've read the spoilers since I honestly think this show is about to truly die. The finale sounds boring. I'm not here to be a downer. I do love this show, but I don't think this season is better. We all have our opinions and preferences and our thoughts, but I think this season has been very, very strong so far. And you say you've read the spoilers. Please don't share it with us. We'll appreciate that. But I'll judge it after. I'll judge it after. Is this season or is this episode going to change my opinions about this entire season? Very unlikely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do think that coming off of 9/15, we don't have to have high hopes. I mean, they can't do anything that lives up to expectations. If we think this episode's going to be better than 9/15, it's not. Let's just go into it with this perspective. There's no way it's going to live up to expectations and be as good or better than 9/15. 9/15 was a masterpiece in many ways, and it was just a big episode. So I don't think they could do anything in 16 to really make that episode better than 9/15. So if you're going into the episode with that mindset that you want this to be better than 9/15, you're going to be let down. So let's just all go into this episode with the idea that let's just hope it's half as decent as 9/15. Or, you know, a strong episode, just like any previous episode before 9/15. So if we go into it that way, then I don't think we'll be let down that much. So with you, I think you might have actually had that perspective of you wanted this to be as good or better than 9/15. And like I said, if you have that mentality and that mindset, it's not going to live up to expectations, definitely. Ronnie Thomas, wait, what happened? What happened here? I just skipped a bunch. Let's see. What happened? Oh, there we go. Ronnie Thomas, I think Rosita will have a bigger role than we thought. I think so. If she survived 9/15 with the Pikes, and if she's not going to die in 9/16, there's a very good chance she has a long-term story coming up. Or a more prominent role in the story. Dr. Soso, how did Alpha left those people or lure those people away? Seriously. I think she smooth talked most of them, just like she did with Ezekiel. And that's probably how she got them to trust her and to let their guards down. Negan's Mayo Sandwich. I think Negan, Daryl, and Judith will be the last people standing. I disagree. I think Judith, yes. Daryl, yes. Negan, maybe yes, maybe not. But Carol, you missed Carol. I think Carol is one that's definitely a long-term character. Long-lasting character. NovaJink75. I feel like Ezekiel will lead Hilltop instead of Daryl the only reason why Daryl led Hilltop because he co-led with Tara, and now that she's dead, I don't think it would be, or Daryl would be able to lead. Yeah, I think that's a very good prediction to think that Ezekiel will lead Hilltop now after Kingdom fell apart. I do think that's a very strong prediction. Epic Zombie Killer. Kieran Hayash, my opinion, I don't believe the spy theory because Carl died for him, and if he's a spy for the Whisperers, then it'll make Carl's death pointless. Absolutely. That, and also, Siddiq hasn't come across as being a liar or a selfish person up to this point. And I don't think they're just going to drastically change his character all of a sudden. Ronnie Thomas. How do you think Rick How do you think Rick would have reacted if he saw the Pike victims? I've said that before. I think he would have had a variety of different emotions. He would have been, terrified to see what this group is capable of. He would have been sad. He would have been devastated by the deaths. He would have blamed himself because he would have thought that he would have been able to, or he should have been able to keep them safe. He would have maybe to an extent, questioned his leadership to a point. I think he would have felt all of those emotions and all of those thoughts. Same as he did in the comics. In the comics, he went down the same kind of way. Animated Alex. Sup, Ash? I just got out of bed. What's up? How are you? Glad you could join. Noah Jink 75. Which character is going to say they don't want to get into conflict with the Whisperers? If it was Rick in the comics, but which character would shoot down any kind of war with the Whisperers? At this point, I think... let me see. Michonne. I think Michonne... Actually, no. Michonne, with what you said in the previous episode, where if you attack one of us, you attack all of us thing, with the charter thing that they signed, I don't think Michonne makes sense. Let me see. Maybe Father Gabriel? Maybe Siddiq? That's the only thing I can think of. I would say Ezekiel too, but with Carol's situation and what happened to Henry, Ezekiel is all about what Queen Carol wants at this point. So I don't think Ezekiel really has an opinion on of himself at this point. Animated Alex, the Highwaymen deserved better. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted Ozzy to live longer, for sure. Negan's Mayo Sandwich. Negan will kill Alpha, my prediction. Yeah, I'm 50-50. 50% thinks that it's going to be Carol, 50% think it's going to be Negan. I'm leaning more towards Carol at this point, but we could have both. Or a remixed story, potentially. I talked about that on a separate video. You can go and check it out. But I think there's a very good chance they might actually just give that to Carol instead of Negan. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, I know it's supposed to be a border, but in the comics, it's a border. In the show, it's just a short line with heads and pikes. It's not a border. I see where you're coming from. I definitely see where you're coming from. In the comics, though, there were more people. There were more deaths. There were 12. And they were more spread out. The heads weren't as close together as they were in the show. But I do see where you're coming from, absolutely. But it sends the same message. It's a line that separates between our land and your land. It's a border in that sense. Noah Jink 75. They better make the Whisperer War the best war we've seen in the Walking Dead TV show. I hope so. I hope that's what we see. I have hopes on the showrunners, for sure. And the writers. The showrunner and the writers. There we go. Voltex 33. What was the purpose of the Highwaymen if they were killed straight away and we might never see them again? We never will. It's not a might. We never will see them again. Oh, you mean the other Highwaymen? Yeah, I think we might see a few of them, but I don't think we'll see the majority of them again. I don't like this choice. Yeah, I hate this choice. I mean, I knew right away when they were introduced, what's the purpose of this group? What is it, you know? Why are they here? It takes away from the shock factor, for sure. Doesn't feel right. Noah Jink 75. Voltex at Voltex 33, they should at least left Ozzy's right-hand man alive to lead. That's a great point. That's a great point. Even if you kill the Highwaymen, some of them, keep Ozzy or the right-hand man. Come on, you know? That just completely eliminates this group's purpose in a way. Mikey Mills, do you think Lucille will break in the Whisperer War? If it comes back, I think there's a good chance it might, yes. Right at the end, I don't think so. There are just too many of them there. But before that moment, yes, he probably did kill a whole lot of Whisperers. Noah Jig 75. I wonder why Kirkman decided to rush the Whisperer War instead of giving it his all into that story. The Commonwealth story right now is falling flat, and this is what Kirkman wanted to rush to. Yeah, I agree. The comics after the Pikes scene, or not after the Pike scene, I would say as soon as the Whisperer War started, the comics had felt flat ever since. And I just haven't been excited about any new issue at all up to this point. it definitely could change. I'm not saying I hate the comics now, but there's just something about the story after or as soon as the Whisperer War started. It just hasn't felt like we were getting good stories, any good stories, or any long standing and interesting stories. Ronnie Thomas, we need Rick Grimes now. Absolutely. It just skipped on me again. Where there we go. Voltix33, how would Maggie react to the Whisperers? Same way she reacted to Negan. She wants vengeance. Or even before that, she would want to take care of them, to kill them, and to eliminate the threat. Like after Jesus' death, that was it for Maggie. She would want an army march to their camp when they find where they are and kill them. And she would not give her the benefit of the doubt like Daryl did. Doctors are dead. They just lost their leader. That's all and Alec. I think that's the main two. The others we don't really know. Negan's me a sandwich. I'm hoping Negan gets his comic arc. I loved it when I read the comics. Absolutely. But in a way, I feel like in the show, they have basically built it up so that the Carol versus Alpha story and that end is the ultimate payoff of the Pikes. That's how I read it. And if they do that, then obviously Negan is not going to get his comic story. We're 29 minutes in. We'll go for another 10 minutes and that'll be the end of the stream. I do have to cut it short a little bit early, or I have to cut it short earlier this time, the stream. But I'll go for another 10 minutes. Extremely excited for tonight's episode though. I'm sure everyone is. And yeah, it's going to be a big one. I hope. Again, like I said before, if we go into it thinking it's going to be bigger than the lead up, we're going to be disappointed. Let's just go into it with, lower expectations. That way we won't be let down, I think. NoMagic75, there are certain elements of the Whisperer War that I want to be incorporated into the show, but the war itself needs to be mostly remixed from the comics. Absolutely. The only things from the Whisperer War that I want to see, that I definitely want them to bring on to an extent, not completely directly, but have elements of it, like you said. One is the Whisperers attacking the community and having those arrows with the fires and all of that and burning it down. I think that's an important element. I would like to see that. The other is seeing Beta and his reveal of who he is. I think that's going to be important, and that's a good part of the story that they need to bring on. Not directly, but something like that. Another one would be what happens to Alpha. What happens to Alpha, I think we should see it still. Even though that's before the war, but still. Then the other thing is... what is it? Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the key things that I think they need to bring on and not change that much. But I definitely think there's a chance for them to bring in even more and to integrate things from the Whisperers that they didn't really dive into in the comic book, in the Whisperer War. King Cat 214, even if they found a cure, the world is still going to be messed up, and it'll still be a long time before they could make things return back to normal life. Not perfect, but close even to a normal life. Noah Jake 75, Q&A, what do you think of Beta's introduction in the show? In the comics, it felt like he came in a little late because it was introduced after the Pikes. Two things. In the comics, yes, he did come late. But in the show, even though he came early, his introduction was a little underwhelming. They could have changed it a little bit and make his entrance be more epic. And maybe a part of that is because his introduction was in a sneak peek before the episode he was introduced. So that took away from it a little bit. But I think they could have done a little bit more in the TV show, but I like it a hell of a lot more than I liked the introduction in the comic book. Ronnie Thomas, why did Alpha not kill Ezekiel? That's a great point. I have no idea. She should have. I mean, it made the most sense. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a. I think I think she should have. She should have, and it would make sense. And also in the story, and the writers should have definitely made that because it felt more right. You know, it made more sense. Ronnie Thomas, why did Alpha, or I just read that. Voltex 33, will Fear the Walking Dead get season 6 or 6 seasons? I have no clue. I don't have high hopes on Fear the Walking Dead, so I don't even think it should be getting a season 5, to be honest. Ronnie Thomas, Carol will die, sorry, but I think season 10 will be his last. Carol? I don't think so. I think she's a long-term survivor. Okay, let's go through these real quick because we're getting close to the end of the stream. Noah Jake 75. I feel like Kirkman knew Alpha was going to die and he wanted someone to mourn her death and he created Beta but introduced him a little late in the story. I think there's a good chance that that's what happened. Yeah. King Kensu 14. I think Daryl is the new leader until Maggie gets back. She's supposed to come back in season 10. It hasn't been confirmed. There is rumors that she's not going to come back. Noah Jink 75. Having Beta mourn Alpha's death in the TV show makes a lot more sense than the comics because Beta was introduced a lot earlier than in the comics, which was after the Pikes. Yeah, that's a great point. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, Fear the Walking Dead is returning on June 2nd. Just wanted to let you know. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to watch Fear the Walking Dead. I just won't review it or do a reaction on it. If anything, I might talk about certain video or certain things in certain videos if I think that I need to talk about it. But for the most part, I'm not going to cover Fear the Walking Dead. Animated Alex, do you think the kingdom will get covered by too much snow? Yes, but I don't think that's the reason why they leave. I think they leave before the storm really hits. Or the kingdom falls before that. King Ken 14, if Andrew Lincoln never left the show, the Pikes would have happened in the mid-season finale for premiere. I don't think so. I think even if Rick didn't leave, the story would pretty much line up exactly where it lined up this time. Or with what we have. Whoa. Noah Jig 75. The only way we know if Negan or Carol kills Alpha is when we get the season 10 trailer in July. We'll get a better idea for sure, but we won't know for sure 100%, definitely. But we'll have a better idea. We'll have a better prediction that way for sure. Animated Alex, do you think they'll change Alpha's death? I hope not. I think that's iconic. I hope they don't change how she dies. And plus, it kind of feeds into the Pikes, you know? It's a way to circle things around. You know, that's why I think it's iconic, and I hope they don't change it. Animated Alex, what if season 9 sucked? Then it would suck. With season 7 and 8 being bad, if season 9 sucked, then I think things would really look bad for the show, for the future. Negan's Mayo Sandwich. I just hate that they give everyone's comic stories to Daryl and Carol. Yeah, but at this point, I think there's no way to eliminate that. They're the main characters now. They're gonna get the most story for sure. Noah 675. I think they may have Alpha live a little bit longer than her comic counterpart, but we'll still get her death. I think so too. Daily Detonation. Hi Ash, pretty excited for this finale. I strongly believe that this finale won't beat episode 15, but they could surprise us. Hi Daily Detonation, glad you could join. I am very excited as well. Like you said, I don't think it's gonna, beat that episode or live up to expectations. But I think it's still going to be a strong episode. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, I feel it was just to put more heads on the pikes. In the comics? I don't see where you're going with that. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Noah Jink 75. At Negan's Mayo Sandwich, my point exactly. I want to see more of Magda's group who are still very new. Yeah, absolutely. But I really thought we'll get one of those deaths, or one death from that group in the pikes, which we didn't. King Kent 14. Who do you think is better, garbage people or highwaymen? Highwaymen for sure. Novajik 75. Highwaymen are better because they aren't backstabbing assholes. That and their story is more interesting. Alright, we'll be shutting this down. Let me go through the last couple questions real quick. Q&A, hey Ash. Wait. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash. By the way, it was pretty dumb that Ozzy would just rush in there and not have a plan. I mean, he must have known that he would die when he did that. I think that was his point. That was his purpose. He wanted to distract them to give the other survivors an opening. That's why they're heroes, because he jumped in and sacrificed his own life, in a way. He didn't think the others were going to stick around and defend for themselves and to stick together. But I don't think he necessarily came in with a plan to survive. He came in with a sacrifice plan. No 675. I hope that during the Whisperer War they keep the creepy elements of the Whisperers, but they're whispering intimidation tactics. I hope so too. Negan's made a sandwich. Nova, I'm just hoping Negan to his comic arc, but I have a feeling Carol will kill Alpha. I hope not though. Yeah, I think that's the payoff for Carol to kill Alpha. Voltex 33. What if Maggie stayed at Hilltop and there wasn't any beef between communities? How would she coexist with Negan? I think she could still coexist. They had their big moment before she left. And after that, I don't think anything would have changed that much. You know, she would still let Negan be because she felt like he is suffering more or she came to the realization that he's suffering more by being in the cell. I don't think that would have changed that much. Voltex 33, gotta go. Bye, Ash. Thank you for joining and asking questions. I appreciate it. We gotta shut this thing down too. I'm just trying to get through these as quick as possible and end the stream. Noah 75. I hope we see someone other than Daryl interact with Alpha and Beta. Let Michonne, Carol, or Negan interact with them instead of Daryl for once. Yeah, I hope we see that. I think there's a very, very, very good chance, like I said, that we'll see Alpha and Carol interaction. The Walker Horde into Alexandria. Yeah, those are definitely great picks. The Gabriel thing, that's the only one I don't know about because they've already done that to a degree in Season 8. So I don't think they need to do it, but if they do it, it'll be fine. King Ken 214, I haven't watched Fear the Walking Dead since the mid-season finale. It didn't get better, for sure. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Rick would react to Daryl having a dog? Or how would he react? I don't think he would react in any specific way. Epic Zombie Killer, I was talking about the Highwaymen. Let me see. I don't know what that's about. I think I missed something or... Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by this. I know you had another comment, I just can't find it. Planet Earth. We never know what is going to happen. Now considering actors deciding to leave, I am glad that Daryl and Carol are choosing to stay. Absolutely. I think at this point we need some good old characters to stay on the show. So I'm glad as well. Negan's Meal Sandwich, it's been 3 months since Ozzy's death. Oh, so there's a 3-month time jump? That's great. Like, or not great, but I anticipated we'll see something like that. Like a big time, not big, but a time jump like that. Cheryl Simmons, excited. Some more hours to go. Yes, we have a couple more hours to go till the finale. Extremely excited. Negan's made a sandwich. I think they are getting Negan up to take over Alexandria as leader. I don't think that works. I don't think that story necessarily works. Epic Zombie Killer, when asked about them being introduced to put more heads and pikes, I was referring to the Highwaymen. Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly why I felt like that death was underwhelming, or those two deaths, because it was so obvious. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. Alright, so that's it for the stream. Thank you everyone for joining and asking questions and supporting the channel. Stay tuned for my reaction to tonight's episode. We won't get any trailers, so I won't be doing a breakdown of a trailer because there won't be a trailer. But I will do my review probably Tuesday, not tomorrow. I have a few things, or I'm doing a few things tomorrow. Don't have time for doing any video tomorrow. So I'll do my review for the finale on Tuesday. And after that, we'll just do as much of the videos as we can. But at that point, I think we'll jump into, let me just bring the schedule. There we go. At that point, we'll really dive into the schedule that we have for the off season. So let me make this bigger. So on, let me see. There we go. So yeah, the Thursdays for Wednesday, yeah, so the comic review for Wednesday, so it will be the off-season schedule. Wednesday, it'll be the review for the comic book. Tuesday, it'll be the review. I forgot to put that there, but you get the point. Tuesday, it'll be the review of the finale episode, because we're getting into the off-season. Wednesday, the comic review. Thursday, it'll be a Throwback Thursday video for The Walking Dead top 10 ranking. I don't know what I'm going to do for that yet, like what exactly for the top 10 rank, but it might be top 10 episodes of season 9. I might do that. Then Friday will be the Q&A, and for those of you that don't know, during the off season, we are doing a recommended video. So if you join our live streams, and if you ask at least one question, your name will be put into a draw, where if you win, you can recommend a video for the following week. And I'll be working on that the following week. Nothing Saturday. Sunday, it'll be another live stream. And again, or no, this time there won't be a recommended video for that, just for the Fridays. And other than that, just any discussion videos that we need to do, we'll do those. But that's basically it for the schedule and for what we're going to be doing for, or from Sunday forward after the finale. But let's go through the last few questions here. Epic Zombie Killer, Bayash, have a good day. Love you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll see you hopefully during the next stream. Negan's made a sandwich. The reason I think Negan will get his comic arc is because you want to trust. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, like I said, they're building up Alpha and Carol at this point. Plants Planet Earth, thank you. Can't wait till tonight. Thank you for joining and asking questions. Yeah, I'm extremely excited for tonight. Cheryl Simmons, thank you. Thank you for joining and asking questions. Epic Zombie Killer, hey, I posted this on Facebook. Thank you, I appreciate it. Epic Zombie Killer, bye Ash, have a good day or a great day. You're amazing. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'll see you hopefully during the next stream. But stay tuned for the videos that I just talked about this week and coming up after that. See you guys soon.